Welcome to the Cursed Curs. Like most Warhammer fans out there, I got really excited to find out that they have a new build your own character. In Lair of the Tyrant, Crucible of Champions, you can do just that. This is the start of the book, and I am not going to read all of that because I can barely read as is. How to use these rules. So here you're essentially just getting the basics on how to start creating your character. Choose an archetype. What do you want your character to be? Just the basics of it. Choose a specialism. For instance, if I want my character to fly, maybe I'll make him have a jump pack on it. Choose an ability. If you want them to do something special, let's say they're a psyker, there's a certain ability that goes with it. And then finally, choosing your weapons. And then representing your Crucible champion. This is just going over how they should look when you start building them. So if it is Adeptus Astartes, it needs to be a basic model. So if I'm making a Chaos Space Marine, I want to probably use a Legionary or something like that as a base model. It should have the correct base size. If it comes on a 32, you can use a 32 or a 40. And each weapon that you're saying your character has needs to be visible on him. Pistols, there's some flexibility. You can just have a holster. And with specialisms, again, if you want a jump pack, your character for sure needs a jump pack or wings or whatever you want. Here we see their example, Malkiel Isaiah, the Seraph of Blood. He has a Stormbolter. His melee weapon is a master-crafted chainsword. He's a leader model that can be attached to Terminator Assault Squad or a Terminator Squad. Unit composition, one champion of the chapter. Abilities, Crucible, Deep Strike Leader. Faction, Oath of Moment. And goes into the abilities he has. And then specialisms, Terminator Armor. Here you have the basic archetypes. I'm not going to go too deep on this. Exalted Champion, Sorceress Champion, Soulforged Tyrant. And then here you have the list of specialisms, abilities, and weapons. And honestly, it makes it very easy to go through and use this to create your character. So all this got me thinking, how do I want to create a character? And do I just want to completely create a new character or go through the history and recreate one for a model? I just restarted the Nightlords Omnibus and hands down, best Warhammer book out there. I thought about Talos, but he is dead, he's gone, and that's the end of it. So I went with the next best thing in Decimus. A newer character that they have not dived into. There's really no lore since his couple page appearance in the last of the Nightlords Omnibus. But I thought he would be a great starting point. You can adjust him how you want, but you also know the basics of what he was carrying and what he's going to do. So first you take the blank data sheet. And sorry, just took these pictures out of the book, so trying to do my best to make it as clear and neat as possible. Then you picture how the model looks. So I got one of these off of Etsy, but you can also find them for free if you have a 3D printer and print them out of Decimus. So I will definitely use this as my Exalted Champion figure. So this is what I got for Decimus. He will cost 90 points. Pretty standard for any Space Marine on his stats over there. His weapon is a combi bolter. I forgot to put rapid fire 2 or any of that going forward. Exalted weapon, which is pretty good. I feel like that is very fitting for him. He can be paired with Chosen, Havocs, Legionaries, Nemesis Claw, and Raiders. And he's a leader, Dark Pacts, and his special ability. Each time this model makes an attack, a successful unmodified hit roll of 5+ scores a critical hit. This is pretty killer, and I think it will be huge for his character when using on the tabletop. So I started thinking, what would I want to create a custom character? Again, probably would just want to use a Legionary, see what I can do with them. And it really didn't come out too much different than Decimus. So what I'm looking at for my special character For my character, Vlad the Afflicted, again, I did Exalted Champion, so it's not going to look too much different from the Decimus one. I chose to go with 2 weapons. I got a bolter, and I also have a flamer tendril. I am using for my melee an accursed weapon, and everything else you see will match Decimus perfectly. But you have options. Again, if you wanted to use a jump pack for your Nightlords, you could just use a specialism for them, and it would just adjust who they can be put with, how much their point value is. And also, if you wanted to make them a Terminator, you could also do that. You have a bunch of options. I am just boring, and I like a basic leader for my army. And yeah, so that is the new Crucible of Champions, my looking at them through the eyes of the Nightlords.